What's up? We in the kitchen cooking some Nigel's Good Food recipes. Come on in. Honey,
What's going on, babe?
nothing. What? I got the question everybody wants to know.
What's that?
What's on the menu?
What's on the menu?
What's on the menu? What's cooking?
When you think of Charleston, what's the first thing you think of?
Shrimp and grits.
That's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
And we got so much different variations now, but what we're gonna do, we're gonna cook it just like how my grandmother taught me how to cook it.
Okay.
So let me get this stuff hot. Give you a little history of how I grew up. Downtown Charleston by way of North Charleston. My granny them used to go to the meat shop, getting bacon and heating up things. Cooking the bacon, and it would fill the whole house with bell peppers and onions and everything. So we're gonna show you how Granny used to get down in the kitchen.
Okay, sounds good.
Right.
You know, where I'm from, grits is a breakfast food. All we did was had to be some eggs with
Not in
it.
Charleston though. So check it out. We're gonna start off with bacon, and I want to start off in a cold pan because I want to render as much of that fat off of there as possible.
Okay.
Because that's going to be the basis of our roux.
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 What's a roux, honey?
Roux is what you make with. That's how you make your gravy. And
Okay.
we're gonna start off with your grits. So when we're making grits, I do 4 parts water or liquid. Some people use chicken stock, but we do good old salt and pepper.
Okay.
Butter. The butter gonna add the creaminess. We're gonna add a little heavy cream in there to make it all good.
Okay.
So for every 1 part of grits, you want 4 parts liquid.
Okay. 4 parts liquid, 1 part grits.
4 parts liquid.
Okay. Gotcha.
So baby, check this out. I got a bunch of butter right here. What I'm gonna do is add some of that butter, that water that's about to boil.
Okay, for the grits?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I wanna, I just like this. I like the flavor of butter, and butter makes everything better.
Oh yeah. Butter and bacon?
And do yourself a favor. Don't use the margarine, that fake stuff. Use real butter.
There is a difference. I don't know what it is.
There's a big difference. It's cream. Cream versus vegetable oil.
Okay.
So, gonna come right there. I got a little try mix right here. A little salt and pepper. I'm gonna add to that. Now I season my stuff first because I got a genuine idea of how much to put in there, but a lot of people, you probably want to season after it because you can always add, but you can't take
Right,
it.
you can't take any out.
So this bacon cooking up pretty good. You see I'm getting some of that fat off of there. And one thing that I can start doing is dredging my shrimp, seasoning it first.
Okay.
I like to season it first so them flavors can get in there, because shrimp, they hold a lot of flavor. And next thing I'm gonna do is dredge it in this flour.
Okay.
And the reason why I do this, because when you put your shrimp in that gravy, basically you want your gravy to stick on the shrimp. A lot of folks, they just add the shrimp into the gravy mix itself. So what happens is your shrimp the gravy just falls off it.
Right.
So that's my preference.
We want to know how you do it.
Yeah.
We want to know.
Well,
how you do
Granny didn't do it like that, but that's one of the modifications I made.
Well, that's one thing I've noticed about you and your cooking. You you cook low country. But you have your own style. It's like you put your Nigel spin on everything, and maybe that's what makes everybody love your cooking so much.
Well, I hope so. Okay, this is the grits.
Okay.
The 1 part of grits.
1 part to 4 parts liquid.
4 part liquid.
Okay. Coming right along. And I see you using a whisk with your grits. What's up with that? I always use the spoon.
You don't want your, well, just fancy. You know, back in the days, they used to use more spoons. Nobody really used whisk or any of those things. But technology, man.
Yeah.
Nothing special. You don't want your grits to clump up on you. I don't.
Right.
That's the one thing that I didn't like about older cooking. Sometimes you get those grit cakes and
grit ball.
Grit balls, yeah. So be careful with your grits too. You wanna when it starts to ball, pretty much turn it down because you don't want it popping all over the place. And can you hand me one of those tops out that cabinet, please?
Play a matchup game. I think this is the one.
Yeah. So those grits gonna be popping pretty shortly, and once grits pop on you, man, it gonna leave a scar.
Grits, yeah.
Everybody heard that Al Green story.
Yeah, Dan and Tyler Perry movies.
Yeah. Let that grits sit back there and rock and roll.
Okay.
I turn my bacon down a little bit because it's getting pretty hot. You see, you got a couple of pieces that got a little darker, so we're gonna move it around. Try to render all of this fat out of there.
And now, the fat. What's up with this fat? You keep mentioning the fat.
The fat is basically you gotta have oil and or some type of fat and flour to start your gravy.
Okay.
And you can use butter. You can use margarine, you can use oil.
Olive oil even?
I wouldn't use olive oil because it's got a distinctive flavor.
Okay.
So vegetable oil, canola oil, anything like that.
Well, bacon has a distinctive flavor. Is that why you're using it?
Yeah,
okay.
that would give it the flavor.
So that's what makes it better than butter.
Yeah.
Okay, in this situation. I got you.
And it's the start of seasoning. This, you know, whatever you start with, that's the flavor you're going to get out of it.
Okay, and oh my God, it smells so good.
I love bacon. And, you know, a lot of people don't eat pork. They're more health conscious now. When I was growing up, you know, you got grandmas that stayed alive till they 90 years old, 100 years old, and they ate pork all their life. But to each his own, you know, some people don't. You can use turkey bacon. But
they got beef bacon too.
Beef bacon, but with those type of fats, those meats, you want to add some oil or some butter to it because you're not going to produce the same amount of oil.
Right. The turkey bacon has less grease and less fat.
Exactly.
Okay.
So let me get a plate, or go hand me one of those bowls.
Okay.
What I'm going to do now, this bacon's pretty good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that bacon out.
That bacon must be scared of you because when I cook bacon, it pops.
Well, you got your grease on too hot, your flame on too high.
Okay.
So.
Almost 14 years together and I'm still learning.
Yeah, man. You can't be scarred up, man.
Oh, believe me, I stand back. I get the long tongs and put the bacon.
So I'm going to put this over here. And let me do this. I'm going to mix up my shrimp.
Now, for some reason, I thought you were going to put onions in there, but...
I am.
Okay. You got it. You know what you're doing, Chef.
Well, now you add the onions and stuff, what happens is you're going to cool down your oil. I want this to get a nice brown on it. And I don't want that liquid from the shrimp and the bell pepper and the onions to mess with what I already started up.
Okay. Now, I've been in Charleston like over 20 years now. I've seen shrimp and grits so many different ways.
And that's, it's fine to do it, but, traditionally you want to Well, you always want to go back to what you started with. You know, you got people doing shrimp and grits with whiskey, butter, Cajun butter, and you know, it's not really gravy. You got
white gravy.
White gravy.
Yeah, I've seen all kinds.
I've seen it with sausage gravy.
Yes.
But I always find a way to get back to the
traditional way.
What I'm used to.
Right. No, I mean, I love your shrimp and grits. I know I've had it with andouille sausage.
Yeah, and you know, and one way to explain our shrimp and grits is almost like it would be like a shrimp etouffee in New Orleans. I mean, you know, in New Orleans or any of those places like that. You know, they do it over rice. Now this dish you can put rice over.
Right.
I mean, put on top of rice, what have you. In the morning times I prefer grits. At nighttime I prefer it over rice. So
yeah, I know. That I do know.
I eat everything with rice.
Yeah. Well, that's a huge Charleston way of eating the rice.
Yeah.
That's another thing I'm not accustomed to being from Alabama is rice. We ate rice as more of a side dish.
Yeah.
Y'all eat rice with every dish.
Yeah.
You know, and
pretty much.
Yeah. Even I noticed you can go to Columbia or other parts of the low country of South Carolina, and Charleston just really has its own unique style of cooking and eating.
It's called swag, baby.
Oh, y'all got swag.
Call it what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want some of y'all swag. I like it. I love it.
So check this out. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to take my shrimp out, and
you don't have to cook shrimp long.
well, you don't want to cook it long because you don't want it all chewy. And these are some pretty big shrimp. These are about 21, 25s.
Okay.
So they're pretty nice sized shrimp. And when we add it back into the gravy itself, you're gonna taste that flavor. And another thing that I've done is I made some shrimp stock to intensify that shrimp flavor. I got some more bacon fat over here.
Okay.
And what I'm gonna do is add a teaspoon of my flour. Start getting this mixed up.
That is gravy.
This is your roux.
Yeah, okay. I know. Yep.
And what my grandmother used to do was she started cooking the roux and she let it get dark. It gets like a nice amber color. And it's more like that's what you call a brick roux.
Okay.
You know, and when you want your browner gravies, your darker gravies, you almost want to get this roux almost burnt.
Okay.
So
whatever color this is what color your gravy will be in it. Okay.
So it's gonna smell like it's gonna burn, but don't worry about it. Just make sure you ain't burning it completely at the bottom. You want to keep on mixing it up. And just like I said, the longer you cook it, the darker it's gonna get. And now they got all kinds of stuff, kitchen bouquet, different things that you can darken it. You know? But that's basically cheating. This way right here, you're cooking the flour, the rawness out of the flour. So it speeds up the process of making your gravy too.
Okay.
So you ain't gotta let it cook, ball and ball and ball. You're actually cooking your flour right here, right now. So this is looking good.
Yeah, I like the colors coming along.
So right now it's at a nutty stage. And you can smell that flour cooking.
Y'all can't smell it, but I can smell it.
And just be careful with this stage right here, because now it's getting down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and add my onions that I cut out earlier today.
Okay, you just chop some onions. That doesn't look like a whole lot.
You don't need much, but you're drawing out the flavors from the onions and the bell peppers, and you know everything. You're building flavors. So
now this shrimp and grits will be pretty because you got some orange and red and green.
well, a lot of what I found out. When my grandma was making shrimp and grits, and my mom made shrimp and grits, it was she just used the green bell peppers.
Right.
When you add the yellow and the red peppers, you add a little bit more sweetness to it.
Right. Yeah.
You add some color.
Right.
So you're adding dimensions to it.
Right. And well, I mean, maybe pretty food tastes better. I don't know, but it just makes you want to eat it when it looks really good. When it's pretty. So I like that. I'm putting the red and yellow bell peppers in.
It makes it smell so much better. I mean, you
Now
can smell the sweetness, and you can smell all the bell peppers because it has a distinctive smell once you start cooking it.
Yeah. It's at a point now where if you weren't hungry, you start getting hungry because it smells amazing.
So what I'm going to do, I got some sausage over here I cut up
Okay.
also.
Okay.
I'm going to add that to there. And I'm going to let the sausage brown a little bit. Remember, we drawing flavors. And just like I said, the sausage and the bacon, all that's optional. My grandma never put no sausage in it. It just, in fact, it was butt meat that we used.
Okay.
And so just give it, and you got to be careful with your salt because once you add your bacon or your butt meat, that's where you drawing your salt from.
Right.
So,
pork is salty, right?
Exactly.
Naturally.
Well, when you smoke it, it's going to be a lot salty because they're using a brine, especially with your bacon before they smoke it.
Looking good, smelling good. A whole nother smell now with the sausage in there.
Yeah, so right now what I'm about to do, I'm going to start adding my shrimp stock. Now I cook this and let it cool.
Okay.
You always want to add, let your liquid cool before adding the gravy so your stuff don't get lumpy.
Okay, so cold liquid goes into the roux.
Yeah.
When you're making the gravy.
All the time.
Okay. Oh, look at that. You can see it changing. That looks good.
Just keep on adding.
Now, when you say shrimp stock,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna have to break that down in Lane's terms for me.
Okay. What I do is I take a little I take the shells from the shrimp.
Okay.
And you start off with cold water. You bring that to a boil, and then you turn it down to simmer, and you let your liquid reduce so you can get all the flavors.
So you're extracting the flavor of the shrimp from the shells.
Exactly.
And that's just okay. Gotcha. Okay.
So I'm gonna season this up a little bit. I got some of this Nigel seasoning here.
Nigel seasoned salt, huh?
Seasoning salt.
Okay.
You're gonna be able to buy them shells in a little bit.
Yes. Right on the shelf right beside that Nigel's Geechee sauce.
Exactly. So we got a little
so you put a little bit of seasoned salt and a little bit of salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess the same will apply to the gravy as far as how you season. You season early because you know what you're doing, but you can always wait to season later.
Yeah.
That way you can taste and season.
Yeah, I think
like I said, you can't take it out.
Exactly. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cheat a little bit.
You cheating?
Yeah. Cause cooking ain't perfect, but that ain't as dark as I would like it to be. So I got some instant coffee.
Wait a minute.
So
you
what
put
I'm gonna do
instant
is
coffee in the shrimp grits?
Yeah, it's gonna give it a little bit of color. I ain't trying to make coffee over there, just trying to add a little bit of color to it.
This is a trick.
Yeah, that's a trick.
This is one of your little chef tricks, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I add a little
Bam.
coffee to it.
It's definitely browner than it was. And you said they sell things in the grocery store.
Yeah,
that
you got
can use.
kitchen bouquet.
Yeah, okay.
And, you know, just like I said, you can add, you can have kitchen bouquet. You can use coffee. But you know what my grandma used to do, she used to let her flour burn, and I just didn't let it burn enough. But
That's okay.
it's all good.
You know what you're doing.
So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and add the bacon in there
Yum.
again,
Okay.
and let me have 1 spoon.
Okay.
I want to see what this gravy is smells like,
Okay.
tasting like. If I need to season it a little bit more.
Okay.
I'm gonna use a little bit more seasoning.
Okay. I'm getting worried about the grits. Obviously, you're not, but
Why worry?
I don't know. 'Cause we've been doing all this stuff with the gravy, and they just been sitting back there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess cooking.
just relaxing.
Okay.
So I'm gonna turn this down, and then I'm gonna add my shrimp in.
Okay.
And basically, what's that gonna do? You want it basically to poach. You don't want to cook it too fast.
Everything in there is done
Yeah.
to the point of where you
And I'm
want.
gonna add a little bit more shrimp stock,
Okay.
thin it out a little bit,
Loosen that gravy up.
loosen it up just a little bit.
Okay.
Slow it down. Now we can check on the grits.
Oh, okay. Looking like grits. Looking like
Okay.
grits.
Now it's a little thick. I got some heavy cream over here.
Okay.
I'm gonna add that to it.
That's the secret ingredient that people don't know about. Huh?
That's the secret ingredient.
Can you use milk? I mean,
can
not
use-
everybody has heavy cream in their
Yeah, you
refrigerator.
can use milk. You can use pretty
Half
much
and half.
anything, half and half. Well, half and half gonna give it a kind of because half and half is half milk, half cream. I prefer using either or,
Gotcha.
and I don't want this too thin because once we put that shrimp and gravy on there, I don't want it to run off the plate.
Gotcha. Okay.
So what I'm gonna do now, we about to plate this up.
Really?
Yeah.
It's that time, huh?
So at the restaurant, we use a plate. We don't put it in a bowl. We put it on the plate. Both my grandmas was famous at making shrimp and grits. But she put it on the plate because she wanted it to cool, and she would eat around the edges first, and then up until the time she get to the middle. So now we gonna just layer the shrimp and grits over here, over here, over here. Take some of that gravy, put on top. Here you go, old-fashioned Charleston shrimp and grits.